Hi guys, I'm going to walk you through the first 18 right now as best I can. So this is kind of your way to check your homework and then just make sure you're understanding it. If there's a problem that you totally get, you may fast forward to the next one. That's totally fine. Just make sure that, this is what you're going to see on your final. So make sure you're getting it. All right, number one, this one is showing as time increases, temperature increases, right? So as we go this way, we also go this way. So that's a positive slope. Number two, the perimeter for 6 squares, if you look at what's going on here, we're going +2 and +2. So if we go +2, +2, +2, then your perimeter for 6 squares is 14. So you're just following a pattern. Number 3, what's the equation that represents perimeter and number of squares from that graph? So basically what you're doing, remember when I would show you this before, if there was a 0, whatever went with that 0 was your constant, was the standalone. So if we went back one here, that would be a 2, right? So that's going to be our constant. So that means it's one of these two because that's the one that has a constant of 2. So what you're trying to figure out is, are you multiplying your x value by 4 or are you multiplying it by 2? And really all you need to do here, guys, is plug in an x value. So if my x value is 1, I can do 2 plus 4 times 1, or I can do 2 plus 2 times 1. If we simplify that, this is 6, this is 4. Well, if you look at when we plug in 1, we should be getting a 4 out of it. So that tells you right there that your answer is B. It should be 2 plus 2x. And we can go over that more in class. We have time to review yet when I'm back. Number 4. What is the function rule of 7 less than 1/3 of z is w? Remember, less than is minus. We talked about that Thursday. And then whenever you have less than, you have to flip-flop. Okay, so 1/3 of z would be 1/3 times z. And then the 7 is going to go here. Remember, is in math is equals, and then w, so you would get w equals 1/3 minus z, which means your answer here is letter A. Number 5, find the next term of the sequence, and if you look at what's happening here, to get from 12 to 9, you're adding a -3. This would be adding a -3. So each time if we add a -3, 0 plus a -3 is going to give you -3 for your answer. Number 6, the slope of a vertical line is always blank. Remember, vertical lines look like that. The slope of that line is always undefined. Remember, the slope of a horizontal line, that's going to be 0. But the vertical line is always a slope that is undefined. You can't do something divided by 0. And if you plugged in to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you would end up with something divided by 0. All right, this one, match the graphs. You have several things going on here, but if you just look at your numbers, okay, so for instance on this first one, number 7, you have 110 is a point, 220 is a point. So if you look right now, these all have 110, no, these have 110, so it can't be this one right off the bat. But then you have also 220. Well, this has 220. This one does not, so it can't be that one. So this first one has to be A. Okay. Second one, so we know A is out. Second one, if you look at what points you have, first of all, well, yeah, it's up to you how you want to go about doing this. But this one has 110, like we said, but it also has 230. So if you look here, 230 and 110, right? This one doesn't have a 110 anyway. So number 8 would be C, and then just check your B. So 130, that's here, 235, that's here. So B works out, so that would be that one. All right, number 10, describe the general shape of this graph. Whenever it is absolute value like this, it's V-shaped, and there's no negative, so it's not going to be an upside down. That's when it becomes upside down, so that would be your V-shaped graph. Number 11, you have to figure out what the function is for that table. So ask yourself, you can either walk through each one and see what works, or you can just look at the chart and see if you can figure out what would work and then find the correct thing. If I do y equals 3 times x, okay, y is 1. So I'm saying 1 equals 3 times 1. That does not work. Okay, so I know it's not this. It wouldn't work with a -3 either, but this would work. So if I take my x value and I cube it, it should equal my y value. If I take my second set, 2, and I cube it, it will give me 8. So those are working out. So your answer would be this one. Nothing's negative, so it's not going to be the negative x to the third. Okay. All right, number 12, it says use the vertical line test to determine whether the given graph is a function. Vertical line test means no 2 points can be on top of each other. So you have this one, you have this one, you have this one, you have this one, and this one. And there are no 2 on top of each other. So for that one, it is a function. Number 13, this should be kind of a gimme. Find the slope of the equation. You have this 3, whatever your coefficient to x is, that's your slope. Do not call it 3x. You don't want the x with it. It's just 3 for the slope there. This one, shape of the graph. Whenever it's squared, that's the u, but this one also has the negative, so it's actually the upside down u-shaped graph for that one. 15, find the next term of the given sequence. Good morning. You're going to take this and just figure out what am I doing each time. How did I get to the next thing? And you are welcome to use your calculator to do that. But if you look at what's happening, 3.5 times 2, 7 times 2, 14 times 2, 28 times 2, everything you're multiplying by 2. So you're going to take 56 and you're going to multiply that by 2. That would be 112, so that's C on that one. 16, domain, and 17, range. To find domain, you're finding the x's, okay? Remember, domain is x's, so you have 0, and 1, and 2, and 0. The rule is no repeats, and this is on your cheat sheet, and then you want to put them in order. So if those are my numbers, we're going to ditch the 0 because that's a repeat. So it would be 0, 1, and 2, which is B there. For 17, we're finding the range, and your range is Y. So if you look at that same set of numbers now, I'll do this in blue. You have 2, 6, 4, and 1. So you're not getting rid of any, but you are putting them in order. So 1, 2, 4, 6, oops, down here. So that would be C for number 17. Okay. And then number 18. Sorry. Okay, where are we at? Number 18. What is the function rule of 5 more than the quotient of a number? Remember, quotient is division. More than is plus, and then when it's more than or less than, you got to flip that around. Because this is addition, you don't actually have to flip it, which is what you see up here. Remember, is 10, And then quotient of a number x and 4, that would be x over 4. So that's where your division falls, is that bar right there. So 5 more than x divided by 4 equals 10, or x divided by 4 plus 5 equals 10. Either one of those works, and if you look at your options, that would be that one. Okay. So that is 1 through 18. I am going to let you go from there and do your next batch, which goes through number 31. So that's your homework for the weekend. If you get going right now, you should be able to get most, if not all of that done in class right now. But be respectful for your sub. I want to hear good things. And we'll go over it all when I get back. See you guys later.